This is a self-improvement project for Janae Crawford. So with the statement of purpose, my main goals with this were to rebuild old habits and regain flexibility in my legs, which would make my body feel better, and then also improve my overall mental health and my wellness and mindfulness. I was really experienced with stretching and physical activity a lot in high school with cheerleading and gymnastics. But when I got injured, I was forced to stop and I just went cold turkey with physical activity. And then I was having to be really careful getting back into things, so I just never really did. So for this assignment, I figured that flexibility was a good first step. I could get back in the habit of daily exercise or daily physical movement in some way, but in a way that wouldn't cause too much stress on my body from going from nothing into doing it. So that was my goal with this. So for the demonstration, this is the left version of the stretches that I was doing. Basically, you're starting on one knee and then your front leg is straight and you're leaning into it, or your front leg is bent and you're leaning into it. These are stretches that I did in addition to attempting splits in order to improve that flexibility in my thighs and in my hips. And this is just the same thing, just the right version of it. So for the pre and post results, I forgot to take pictures at the beginning of the semester, so these are just pictures of my post results. As you can see, my left split is almost completely to the ground. I think I'm like half an inch above it. And then on the right split, it's a little bit further off the ground. I'm about like 1.5 inches to 2 inches above the ground. At the beginning of the semester, my left split looked about like how my right split looks now, so there was some improvement there, even though I didn't make it all the way to the ground. And then with the right split, that one was about an inch or so higher, so I did make some improvement with that one as well. I'm not sure why my left leg is more flexible than my right, because the stretches were the same and they improved about the same amount. This is where I am now. And I didn't meet my goal of being able to go all the way to the ground with both of them, but I did make some improvement with both of them, so I think I still accomplished something with this project. So these are just the links that I used. And I also have my prior experience with this. I knew what to do with my hip structure and making sure my hips were square and that I wasn't like leaning to the side and my shoulders were even with my hips and all those kinds of things. I already knew all of that from cheerleading and gymnastics, stretching, and then these three links just kind of affirmed that. So for the self-reflection part, just to reiterate, my goals were to rebuild old habits, regain flexibility in my legs and my hips, and then just overall feel better about my body and about my mindfulness and wellness. And the lessons in moving forward, give yourself grace. I wasn't able to do this every single night, but I did this most nights. And even just taking the small step to start is still a step in the right direction. Practice never makes perfect. As I said, I didn't meet my goal, but I did improve. And then also, I'm constantly evaluating how my routines change with my job and with school. And then I adapted my fitness goals to fit. So I wasn't always able to do it every day, and I wasn't always able to do it at the exact same time, but I was still able to do something more often than not. Thank you for your time.